Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to science misinformation on the internet. And today we have with us Nitty, who loves titties.
Yeah,
Nitty, you're back. We're so excited.
actual.
Um, because, since the last time you were here, you kind of nuked your channel. And
I know. Yeah.
now we're getting I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad because some people do that. We never hear from them again. But um,
Yeah, I know.
you're one of the many favorites in the community, and
Well, thanks.
certainly a favorite. I think almost okay. Look, Nitty is back to is you 200 subs or where are you at now?
127.
127. All right. So listen to me. I am going to sick the tapioca weasel crowd on Nitty's channel. If you are not sub, go, 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 go. Sub, now. All right. Everybody
I
sub.
was I was gonna do a show this weekend, but my mom
Well,
showed up.
now you have to do a show after this. So back in the
We'll
early
see.
days of BSS, like all 1 year ago, Nitty used to before I could actually what do you call it, raid anyone. I'm not even sure if
Hmm.
raiding was the thing back in those days. Um, Nitty would be on after me, and now that I can raid, Nitty is no longer on after me. What is up with that, Nitty?
Well, I some of it's I've been waking up early for work.
Oh,
Like I'm
well,
just stupid busy with
damn it all.
my actual job. I don't get paid any money for this.
Damn
Um,
capitalism.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, were you
Um, and
monetized before you nuked yourself?
No.
no, no,
He was
no.
right there, though. He was right there.
This is
I mean, um,
You were at four. You had to be at like 450 or something crazy.
I was at 450. But so I've been trying to find things that are more. How do I say this? I don't typically do like the 50 questions for atheist type stuff. I feel like too many people do that. I look for like particularly wackadoo stuff like that's related to the Bible, and I just haven't had too much time to do that for like a live show, to find some like really good ones. Now, I do want to try and work with my former church
Hmm.
has like an apologetics arm to it, and
Hmm.
maybe I'll like mess with like some of their tired apologetics that they're putting out as if they're something new no one's ever heard before. Um, and then the other thing that I do on my channel, which is much more important to me now, um, and I need to get my next episode out, is it's best to be an atheist or believe in God, let's chat. And what that is that I take a whiteboard to Ohio State campus, specifically like a small restaurant, right? And students come in and out, and their Bible studies come in and out, and my sign will say, "It's best to be an atheist. Let's chat." And I get to record those conversations, no faces, no names, and I just post them to my channel. I want to talk to these people about what they believe and why. And I will tell you, it's a completely different ball game than what we do here on the internet atheosphere, where you can like do flame war comments or like troll a chat, right? And just say like Sky Daddy or, angry, bitter atheist. Like, no, people, when you sit down with them face to face, it like you get a sense of like the real people behind these kind of belief systems and stuff, and the people who are that may consume this content but really they don't.
Right.
Like, if I can name apologists to campus Christians, they're like,
they
who's
don't know who
that?
they are.
I,
Yeah, no.
Occasionally they'll give me like, you should really read this book, it's filled with awesome evidence. It's by Lee Strobel, it's called
It's
Gays
always
for
by Lee
Christ.
Strobel.
And I'm just like, I read that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been liking Believe in God question mark Let's Chat. That one's been good. It's not as overt, but it still gives good conversations. Every once in a while, an atheist will walk by and be like, "Yeah, dude, like you're so much braver than me for doing this." I'm like, I'm not brave. I just get high. Honestly, like it's it's just a huge dopamine rush to talk to strangers. I'm not
Oh, you
brave.
mean
This is
from the
strange.
interaction, not before the interaction? Okay, got it.
No,
Sorry.
no.
But what do you call
Just to
it?
be clear. But yeah, I love talking to people about what they believe and why, and it's a lot of fun. And I have 6 episodes up, and I'm trying to keep the mic quality up, and try and get people to maybe experience some cognitive dissonance too. I have like note cards that I bring around for, like, I'll say, "Hey, do you want to do one of my exercises?" And they'll say, "Oh, okay, sure." And then I've got one like, "Can God lie?" Which is like
Okay.
the kind of like paradoxical thing that lots of believers don't think or talk about very often. Or
These are your videos.
yeah, yay.
Yeah,
What the hell is
Everybody,
now? I'm like
subcommittee.
do it.
like totally
Do it.
stumping.
You gotta get the
Oh,
next one.
what would convince you, right? I tell them what would convince me, and then I try to get them to like think about what could convince them, or could they be convinced that they're wrong. And the looks on faces are pretty interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I do get a lot of nothing, which usually comes from someone very young. They're like older
Ah,
individuals I talk to will say, one recently said something to me like, "Well, you know what? It could happen, but it's going to be a process. It's not going to be like one thing." And
and
I'm
Mhm.
like,
they're not
now
wrong.
you understand. Now you understand someone like me, right? It wasn't like one day I woke up and was like, "Yeah, I'm out of Christianity, man." Like, no, it was kind of like learning and thinking about different things, seeing things from another perspective, and being like, okay, it's not crazy to not believe, and it's okay if I don't, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I do over at my channel. You're welcome to come on over, and my live streams again are going to be related to like wacky Christian content that I find, some counter apologetics, and every once in a while I'll let people on to chat. And you could go back, and I had like a 3-hour live show. I split into 2 hour-and-a-halfers of
Wow.
everyone talking about is belief a choice. That was a good live stream.
I like this comment.
I would debate you, bro, but then I got high.
What do you call it? Al has I don't know if it's still up, but he had but then I got high, but it was, I forget what it was, what the thing was too. But it was funny.
Oh, hey, Eric
Um,
Wander, nice. I see you with
but
Blasphemers Bible all the time. I want to know where you get your R and Ra money. R and Ra, yeah.
but so Anthony Magnabosco, I think, stopped doing his things year and a half ago. So you trying to replace him, or what's up with that?
No, I don't do SE
Okay.
per se. Like, I'm not constantly digging at like the whys, or like I do get them to like understand like an outsider test type of
Hmm.
thing sometimes, where I'll say like, do you think faith is a good way to find truth? Or like, do you think um, if I told you I came to this position by faith, which is like an opposite or something else,
Hmm.
that would be a good reason for me to do that? I really like the question. Would you uh, would you prefer to believe something false that makes you feel good, or believe something true that makes you feel bad?
Hmm. What? So what's? I know I don't know if you like have stats on you, but like what do people normally say? Like if you could just ballpark it, are people falling more on one side or the other, or what's that like?
Um, some people say it depends on what we're talking about. Like
Mm,
what thing? Here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be false that heaven is real, but heaven makes
mm.
me feel good, so I choose to believe it, or I.
Oh, they actually say that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's an example. They
Okay,
don't
yeah,
like
That
yeah.
actually
that's
say
actually
it.
a position that I can imagine a version of myself having in some
Hmm.
circumstances.
Well, I've heard
Um,
people say it on different call-in shows. I mean, but not that tantamount, right?
mhm,
It's pretty. That's pretty much what you're saying.
yeah.
If
Right.
backed into a corner, they'd say, "No, no, I really want to know," but like in their head, it's just like I can't go there. I need to
Yeah.
like I'm not there yet. You know, the cognitive dissonance. They just can't get past it, and you know, we're all there on
Right.
something.
Or they think that what they believe is incorrigible. There's just nothing else you could possibly believe,
Hmm.
and so they can't think that what they believe is false. So there's nothing nothing will just phase them,
Hmm.
right? They'll just be like, well, I just feel good because I know it's true. So
That's
yeah.
I've always found that very difficult to understand because to me it's a very obvious sort of inspection of anything that like what if I just slap not in the middle of it or at the front of it or whatever it's grammatically appropriate to like, make sense. There are certain times in which I'm like, okay, I don't really know what to do with that. Like A is not A. That seems to run into a brick wall. But like, what if the earth is flat? That would be messed up, but like it's a thing that I can imagine
Our
like
models are flawed.
technically being true, but it would require me to be completely delusional.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, no, like I told you, the way I got into the skeptic community was just like, wait a minute, this flat Earth shit is just really fucked up. But I mean, I was open to it.
Do we
I
want
heard them out,
Is
and it wasn't like I'm not like I don't get the cognitive dissonance on the round Earth thing, right? I really
yeah.
really just want to know what is a fact. But like if somebody was just like the sky is not blue, like that's kind of where you'd probably have to sell me because like I've looked up every day. It's always been blue. Like
What do you mean
what
by
really is
blue?
blue? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We'd have to start there. Cause like, yeah, I mean, I don't
I
know what
mean,
to do
theories
with
of
that
truth are
statement.
not my strong suit, but it
Right.
is a philosophical
Hmm.
cavern to go down because
Right.
you could be wrong about that.
it's
No,
But anyway,
no,
I don't think I could honestly, and that's why I'm saying like it would really be like a
it would
shock to the
require
system.
an it would require like an acute mental crisis.
Yeah, yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's not
But
what
you
I'm saying.
Right.
go
No,
on.
okay.
It is
So
what I'm saying.
yeah, and probably what I'm saying because what I see in the sky, like nobody had told me it was blue. It matches my definition of blue, which could be very well, and pretty sure that everybody sees the sky a different hue, right? But
Hmm.
it all matches whatever we see when looking up. It matches our each of our
it,
definitions of blue.
it matches
Um,
other stuff that's blue.
right.
Yeah,
Too.
like
Yeah.
if you take a picture of a sky and then you hold it up against the sky, you're going to be like, those are broadly similar. Whereas if you then took like, a big red tomato and looked at those, you'd be like, those are not as broadly similar, unless you're colorblind, which is always possible. But
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think the only
Yeah.
time I agreed with somebody when they said the sky wasn't blue was it was a oh god, I think she was an artist, and she was trying to explain the differences in blue, and she walks outside and she's like cyan, and I'm like, all right, gotcha, I'll give you that. But
yeah,
I mean,
Th-
I think for most of us, we would just say, okay, cyan fits within our our blue hue, right? But
but
if you want to be pedantic about it, I'll just gift it to you.
It's a real thing. I could be getting my language or whatever mixed up. I think it's in Italian that like sky blue or light blues are azule, and like blue in Spanish is azul, but azul and azule are not exactly the same word. And I think that there is a distinction, and they're like, no, that's not blue, that is azule or whatever. And it's similar to how in a lot of languages pink is a shade of red, but in English pink isn't that much a shade of red.
No, I hear you. And I don't want to spend, the entire 2 hours in color theory, Chas getting pedantic. Mark Agamotto is pointing out that sky isn't really blue. It just appears that way due to color shift from refraction. It really is colorless. Nothing's colorless. Everything hits our eyes within a spectrum. And, you could say they're within the human color spectrum. I mean, it fits, the sky does fit the definition of blue.
Yeah.
Now, whether you want to get into whether or not there is really color, I believe it's a separate conversation. I'll have that with you. Not today.
We're not doing.
Not today.
That's like me wanting to talk to a precept in my comments, where I'm just like, I'm a pragmatic fallibilist. Now what? And then I don't want to go on. I'm done. We're done here. Move on.
Yeah, off topic. And I don't think either of these guys want to get into color theory today. It's not what Nitty was brought here for.
No.
I do actually, Dr. Tapioca Weasel actually gifted a fuck ton of, I can't even say a fuck ton, 7. We will say 7 memberships, and I'm not even sure where they all went. I will find them later. But who I can see here is Mahalia Laga, Convenient Estelle, Ryan Donovan, You Hooligan, and Dick Dawson, who every time he appears in the chat drives my mods nuts, because all they do is unhide comments saying hi to him. So thank you, Dick, for having the best and worst name in the whole wide world. So, not to be outdone, though, Left-Handed Jedi said, bitch smacked your 7 cultists and said, I got 10 for your ass. And then gifted K&K's GG, Mark Reed, David Denuno, Hill Hugger, Super Critical Snake, Two Guys Talking History, Reverb Twang, Carrie Ann Chrysler, Jason Hyatt, and Ardent Espresso. And then, let's see. Actually, Two Guys Talking History said, hey, guys, don't forget about me. I have money. Where are we at? Oh, sorry. I pressed the button and it went all the way back up to the top. So, Two Guys Talking History for $2 says, I can't wait to learn hidden magnet knowledge. Oh my God. Have you come to the right place? Oh, we are going to be talking about hidden knowledge and magnets. Maybe not all at the same time, but definitely.
I don't know how it works.
Well, as B.S. Lewis said, they stick together, duh. And then Blonde Bomb Scheller said, you know what? I can do this. I can do this too. I got 10 subs for your ass. And then I'm not sure where all of her people went. Where are my people at? So, okay, here we go. Jason William, Omnivore, Dog, Sandrine Pearson, Allie, Hunter Biden's laptop, Nick, CL, Dunk, Daryl Frost, and Michelle Ferguson. Woo! So I want to say welcome to our 27 new and returning cult members.
Ow, ow!
Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. Before we move on, Nitty, you did a new thing for us.
Yes, I made a new emoji for the channel.
Yes. What is it?
It's the DKU, the Dunning-Kruger University emoji. So when you encounter someone during the stream that is talking out of their, you just put the DKU in their face.
All right. Thank you, Nettie. All right.
Yes.
And oh, God, today we're going to be doing Katt Williams. And I love Katt Williams. I did this, I have a clip, and I did this, it's probably about a little over a year ago because, I don't know, haters be hating, right? It's a little annoying. And so I just want to remind everybody that you need to be thankful when you have haters because that means you're doing something right.
You gotta be grateful. You need haters. What the fuck is you complaining about? What the fuck do you think a hater's job is? To fucking hate. So let them motherfuckers do their goddamn job. What the fuck is you complaining about? Ladies, if you got 14 women hating on you, you need to figure out how the fuck to get to 16 before the summer get here. The fuck is you mad about?
Oh my God.
Fellas, if you got 20 haters, you need 40 of them motherfuckers. What is you complaining about? If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch. Dipset.
Oh, Nitty!
What?
So I don't know what happened to Nitty. Here we go. Nitty's back. So, I mean, I don't know. That's the Katt Williams I grew up with. And
Same.
apparently, Katt Williams, I'm not really sure what exactly happened, but he crashed his career. And now he is blaming motherfuckers for not crashing their careers. And something pyramid splooge magic.
Yes.
And Nettie, you get to help us unpack this.
Once he told the jokes. Now he is the joke.
Exactly.
Indeed.
All right.
So we like.
Wait a minute. Professor Parks is back.
Beautiful.
Hey, and for $5, Professor Parks said, "Thought you might be interested to know that Whitsitt is quoted as a cosmological philosopher in the intro of a book I just picked up."
What?
So
What did I miss?
Let's get this straight. Whitsitt is cited as a legitimate source.
Well, what? I mean,
So there's somebody either as grifty or as dumb, or no, dumber than Whitsitt.
I'm not sure
That's my
Whitsitt's
only
dumb.
explanation. Yeah, it's got to be a grift at this point.
Yeah, no, if he's too good at the grift to get the name dumb. His opinions, the things he says, incredibly dumb.
That's true.
But yeah, if we get started on Whitsitt, we're never getting back to this video, so we can't go down that way. We can't do a chat. Sorry. We are listening to a video from the channel named Video Advice, which on YouTube, if you're getting video advice on YouTube, from a channel named Video Advice with 3.51 million subscribers, that's on you. That's on you. And this video is 12 days old, and it has a cool 51,000 views, which, you know, given that sub count is not that great, but it's also one of those channels where it's like a fake sub count because people just accidentally clicked it once. Yeah. But
They saw a short and went, ooh.
Yeah, indeed. This video is Katt Williams dropping hidden knowledge. Now, you may be wondering, you may be searching for a through line to this video. Like, what is his thesis? What is the main point that Katt Williams is trying to make here? And this
Again.
Katt Williams is dropping hidden knowledge again. He's one of the few who gives us a peek behind the curtain where the real knowledge is kept from the many and shared with only a few. The insights he shares in this video are definitely eye-opening. Wow, truly mind-blowing. So hopefully that gave you a lot of insight into the specific thesis that he's trying to articulate. And if it did, then I want whatever you're smoking, because
That there.
Can
Yeah,
I
right
give a
there.
quick preamble about secret knowledge?
Please.
So there's one YouTuber that I've discovered recently that I may or may not attempt to cover, but the rabbit hole that this individual has gone down, he's like Joe Archaics or something. His thing is that modern civilization has abandoned the true calendar, the Phoenix calendar, which is a cycle of every 552 years. And it's documented that the Phoenix cycle coincides with major historical events. And it coincides with all these very specific numbers for the total destruction of all civilization. So yeah, that one's going to be rough, we'll say.
Yeah.
And then there was a show that I was on. I was invited to it because the channel, I'm not going to mention it by name because they are black pilled. If does anyone here want an explanation of that?
I was going to ask.
Basically, it's anti-Semitic, flat Earth, conspiratorial adjacent. They really know. They're in the know, right? And so, yeah.
Black.
So, and anyway, someone in the chat can really elucidate it better than me. But here's the
that might be next week's stream.
Yeah.
Like red pilling, but like way more remote.
I was going to say, how is this different than red pilling? But yeah.
So,
stage of red pilling.
What I'm thinking about with that description alone is that the channel I was on, I mean, they were 9/11 conspiracy, all kinds of it. Like, why is there a pyramid on your American dollar? We're slaves to the
we
wake up, right?
Yeah.
There's blood cults hiding in the U.S. Anyway, when I hear that description, I think of this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
right. That there's this whole cloud of people running around with these wacky theories and their inside knowledge that should revolutionize the world. And guess what? It hasn't. If it's supposed to like really change something, it's not working. All right. And then what adjacent to like the stuff that I cover, right? Like religious stuff and the stuff on early Christianity, it sounds exactly like Greek hijackers of Christianity, where they're like, hang on, you know this Jesus stuff? Okay, we really know the deets here, and if you just give us some money or you join our crew, you're gonna get the secret knowledge and you're gonna be better off for it, and you're gonna touch the divine deep inside you, and you're gonna feel a certain way. The earth is gonna be amazing. I mean, same shit, different medium. We've been doing this for thousands of years, gang. Someone's got the secrets and they gotta let you in. They're manipulating you. It's fine.
Yeah. I think he's probably summed up the video.
I mean,
we're done here.
There was a lot less discussion of missing noses.
Oh, right? Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah. So let's let them cook.
That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because
Katt Williams is dropping hidden knowledge again. He's one of the few who gives us a peek behind the curtain, where real knowledge is kept from the many and shared with only a few. The insights he shared.
That's a great question.
I mean, them noses.
They chopped the noses off.
They chopped them, so it's a big secret when we're trying to figure it out.
I'm sure to do just a simple Google search. Okay, getting a lot of Reddit. A lot of Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I see why this.
Thanks.
How far down do you have to go? Wow, you do have to scroll.
That's the first time I've ever
scroll
tried
to get to like even. Yeah, no, it's what do you call it? Reddit, Quora, a couple of YouTube videos. It's not funny. Just to even get to like a USA Today with a fact check.
By the way, Al Trucker has just put a bingo link in the chat.
Oh, Al Trucker did bingo? How?
Well, so you know how I gave ChatGPT the transcript of the video?
Okay.
I also asked it to give a bingo list, and then I gave that list to Al, and then Al did the stuff in the background.
No way.
That is so amazing.
That
Yeah,
Oh, ChatGPT.
yeah.
wait.
It's
So is it this one? Okay, yeah, it's this one.
it's the one that is tapiocaweasel.com
All right,
/
nope.
generate card page.
Pinned.
Fantastic.
So apparently this was like such a big thing that USA Today wanted to do a debunking of it, and that was in 2020.
No.
Which thing? Which thing is such a big thing? Sorry.
The nose is being chopped off so that you can't tell that they're black. You know, because why would you think that they're black people in Egypt, like that in Africa? Egypt, Africa. Why would you think that? That makes no sense.
I guess if they had eyes. But yeah. Who are you going to believe? The racists or your lying eyes?
That's a great question. The racists do own the narrative.
I guess it could be like related to how we want to say like people in history were dumber back then, which they weren't, right? And it's trying to like
this started on Facebook.
Piggyback this, it's
Got a shot.
It can go alongside like, well, the white people were the best at everything, right? So it's not only,
obviously.
yeah.
Their ruling is false. Experts on Egyptian statues acknowledge that the noses were broken off for political and religious reasons. They do not mention race playing a part. Therefore, we found the Facebook claims are false. And the Facebook claim is directly that Egyptian noses were broken off because they resemble black faces.
Yes, because the nose is where it's at.
Yeah, it's the nose. Can't tell a Roman or
are we sure the
Asian
noses
from
weren't
an
too
African
Jewish?
without
I
that
mean-
nose.
Oh, my mom is watching. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hey,
She never
Nikki's mom.
watches the show.
Kind of his
but-
mom. I don't know if my mom's watching.
Yeah, Dr. Tapioca Weasel's mom sometimes watches the show. And then she likes to ask why we have nitties.
So when somebody gifts a membership or whatever it's called, so you you have the weasel emojis and then the ditties. So I that was a lot of fun.
No, Mom,
It
the
legitimately
nitties.
was kind of fun to explain
Totally
that to my mom.
wholesome emotes, those nitties. Also the vaginas.
Also the vaginas.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's a conversation that I delayed until later because I was like, Mom, you got to watch a Roger stream for us to talk about the vaginas. So, yeah. God, I hope she's watching.
Listen to me. Vaginas are not a dirty word. Teach your children how to say penis and vagina. Also,
Mine say it a lot, but we say time and place, kids.
No, I do remember when your son ran into the room and said penis right in the middle of the stream. I was so proud. Your children should know what their body parts are. They should understand consent, and they should know when to tell you when certain body parts, any body part, really. There's no reason for people just to be touching them without their consent.
That's right.
There's apparently a correlation between knowing and using the correct words and being more likely to report or not be groomed, basically. Yeah. If all you ever hear is euphemisms, it's really easy to groom a person with euphemisms.
Yeah. So we're going to love our children and
tangent
properly educate them. Tangent. Moving on.
Okay, so what they were talking
the curtain,
about,
where real knowledge is kept from the many and shared with only a few. The insights he shares in this video are definitely eye-opening. Wow, truly mind-blowing.
It doesn't matter because everybody in Egypt knew it. None of those people are saying
and here's where we get into the problem that I think sometimes some members of our audience might have, which is, I don't know what they're talking about. They aren't talking about anything coherent. Now, part of this is that we're in the intro of the video, and he's still sort of like, spooling it up. but most of it is that there isn't a clear through line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, even if we backed it up, like, it's not going to make sense. Like, everybody in Egypt knew it, that they were black. Like,
they
where are we going with this?
Well, yeah. Or like if there is a reason they knew it, why do we assume we know that reason?
Good point. Yeah, like we don't have mind reading capabilities into the past.
We would need an actual like set of historical documentation or tradition. Then what do you do then when that contradicts your little pet theory?
Or when they contradict each other, which happens a lot.
Oh,
when you get
that's how we try to do the historical method. Yeah,
when you have an abundance of sources, if they don't, if it's not, they shouldn't all contradict each other. But if none of them contradict each other, then you probably really just have one source that's disguised.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if they're overlapping, if there's like, maybe 75% of the words are verbatim from the other text. Okay, sure, yeah, probably the same source.
Okay, yeah.
But
that's what I mean.
Yeah. If
you want contemporary,
right,
with small differences, not
right.
like woohoo.
I think a lot of how historians but corroborate things are because, well, if something happened in Greece, the Egyptians said it, and also, the Persians said it. So this is most likely factual. There's no reason for these other two countries to say the thing.
Right.
However, if, Persia and Egypt are saying something and Greece is like, no, we totally won that war. And then everybody else is like, nah.
Yeah, you smell the propaganda.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
Those people are saying, hey, I came up with this. The more you know how little you know.
The more you know.
DKU hat right now.
The more you know, the more you know how little you know.
But the first part. Wait, did he say little in that first part? I just saw it. He said the more.
Yeah, right here. The more you know, the more you know how little you
know.
No,
his words.
No, he actually did say it.
He said little.
Know how little you know.
Okay.
The more you know, the more you know how little you know.
Kind of. Okay, so really quick though. So, I know that Dr. T and I, like, in our respective fields we have an understanding of where the holes are, right? And the thing with science is like, yeah, you want to know what you don't know because you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start getting into, especially like physics, it's just like, okay, there's some gaps here, and or Dr. Parks is here, like astronomy, astrology, or no, astronomy, not astrology, astronomy, yeah, and astrophysics. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't know, that we can't know, we don't have the tools to know. But I think there's a difference between saying, hey, we understand that there's a hole here, and making shit up. It's it's like, well, the pyramids couldn't possibly be tombs. They had to be a stored, like an energy center. Why?
Because so
why not both?
The thing that the thought that this sort of provoked in me was, like, on the individual level, like me as a person, the more I have learned, the more I have understood about how much information is out there that not only do I not know now, I'm never gonna have time to delve into it. I have educated myself and become an expert on a portion of a portion of a portion of a topic that I can speak with quite sophisticated about. which was not a sophisticated grammatical construction of that sentence. See? So, tomato, tomato. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to learn the sky is not blue. We know the pyramids were tombs because they said so, and it makes
they actually wrote what they were building. It's, this isn't
Look, I've learned so much on this notepad, and the more you know in this notepad, the more you understand how little you know.
Right. So I think what you're saying is the difference, Tap, is that it's kind of like once you've cracked the seal of this conspiracy, it goes way deeper. Like that's what we're listening to, not like I've come to an understanding, and that understanding is making me go, okay, like what about this? How does this relate to this? You get what I mean.
When we're talking about North Africans, there was a fuck ton of Mediterranean influence on Northern Africa, and so we're seeing they're not white. They're mixed, for lack of a better term. They are definitely people of color, and I guess that's the best way I can put it in an American term. Yeah, they don't look like other Africans as you go further down, but it was because of the mixing done within the Mediterranean, and that's why a lot of people in the Mediterranean are pretty much the same-ish color.
Doorknob Head is mad at us for slowing down his bingo experience.
Oh, you know what? Forgive me.
Little you know. This hits especially hard after watching the entire video. Katt dives into depths that might just scare you, realizing that if what he's saying is indeed true, then it's time for us to start making some changes. Let's dive in.
There was no actual introduction to any specific topic other than missing noses.
Also, so many disparate, pictures there. And I want to know how eyeless popes, the flaming pentagram, and the corn.
Oh yeah,
cob. Right? Yeah, what's going on there?
What's with all the pine cones? That's what I thought of them.
Egyptian suppository. What are we talking about here? How are all these things related?
I don't know.
If what he's saying is indeed true, then it's time for us to start making some changes. Let's dive in.
Okay, this is also apparently a satanic production. I don't know if they noticed that, but we got the pentagram right here. Beautiful.
None of those people, none of them picked a bad place ever.
Okay, so we have to give him a few more sentences to clarify what he's talking about.
Yes, come on.
None of those people, none of them picked a bad place ever. That's when you understand that there's a grid. Yeah. Because nobody's holy people picked bad spots.
No. Wait a minute. All right. So nobody picked a bad spot. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to go for the grid and not the fact that the spots that were picked were all near freshwater sources.
Well,
and actually, even to this day,
why are there fucking question marks?
Yeah, there's a question mark here.
Oh, right, because there's a grid. That's the grid. There should be something there.
Is that where the Azores are? I thought they were farther over. Is there an island
Is there anything there?
Smack in the middle of the Atlantic? I don't know that there is. Maybe there is. I could be wrong. But
there's anything would get sucked into the ridge, right? I don't understand. Oh God!
You played yourself. Everything about what two of these things are things that I immediately recognize and can tell are at least vaguely kind of maybe in the right spot, but I'm pretty sure Giza should be a little bit further west here. I don't even know where Stonehenge is.
Yeah. What's
Stonehenge?
Nimiscal?
Oh, that's a good question.
What the fuck is that doing in Quebec? Like, what's that thing in North America? Nemaskal. What the fuck
I don't
is
know.
that?
I
have no idea what those things are.
I haven't heard of that
So-
either.
I have heard of that.
Wouldn't there be a selection bias here to get that set of curves in the first place? Like, what if there are other like ancient things? Like South America is lacking a lot of their ziggurats, right, and their religious structures. Like, why aren't those counted?
They tried to, but they missed the coast and had to settle for the island instead of like.
What about
the large civilizations that existed in the Amazon and whatnot?
That ancient city in Turkey, Göbekli. Why is that not in the sine waves here?
Inconvenient.
Like this is a remarkable self-own, but
also not where Giza is. What the fuck?
Yeah, Giza is over here. It's over.
Why is the Temple of the Mount not there? Like the tabernacle. Like why isn't
inconvenient
the second temple?
Stop bringing up inconvenient.
I guess Yahweh picked the wrong spot.
But the claim being made is that none of like what is the claim exactly being made?
Because nobody's holy people pick bad spots.
Nobody's holy people.
But Yahweh just fucked
bad
up.
spots.
No, none of them. I think somebody is just like woefully ignorant of like all the holy people that have ever existed.
For real.
Also,
because
how often do people go around intentionally being like, "This seems like a hard place to live. Let's do it."
Yeah,
you get a few of them, like Tibetan monasteries on big hills. Like those can be tough to make it work out, but the entire civilization is not living in a place where nothing grows.
Wait, go back a teeny bit for the map because I just thought of another one.
Yeah. Because
where the fuck's the Temple of Artemis? Like why? What about
Greece and Rome? Temples unrepresented.
Yeah, so the Vatican was built on a non-grid line, like not even in the path.
Yahweh misses again.
We're gonna get to the Vatican.
So wait,
well, we are, but it's not. I just want to point out that according to his own planetary grid system, the Vatican has been incorrectly placed, as has
if it's on the grid.
I don't think. I would be shocked if any of these points are correct.
Dome of the Rock.
No, well, yeah, I will give you that. Well, okay, I don't know what this grid is. I know that he's trying to put things.
Wouldn't a grid be better represented by latitude and longitude? Or I mean, what kind of grid is this? Like a defense grid? Like what? When I think grid, I don't think of it in like waves with arbitrary overlaps.
No, this is actually even for like the New Agers. Like this isn't the grid.
Orbital grid. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't the grid that they go by. Like usually they do whatever the ley line thing is, and Giza falls. They actually do place most of the pyramids on different ley lines. So I don't understand what this is at all.
Orthogonal, non-orthogonal, hexagonal, curvilinear, irregular, spaced grid. I don't see like an exclusively anyway. I'll shut up now.
I think it's hot nonsense.
When you know it's a grid system.
Because
nobody's holy people.
Tap, look, your favorite troll is here.
Hey, hi BBH, how's it going? I hope you're doing better than me. I've been sick all week.
Oh yeah,
I may or may not have walking pneumonia.
Yeah, Tap is trying really hard not to die, and I gave him a directive that he's not allowed to die on the show.
Yeah, but
so, if you could just do that, that'd be great.
If I could just die on the show, yeah,
not die on the show.
You'll
Stop
get
it.
so many subs. Viewership will skyrocket.
Okay. Moving on.
Spots. Everybody understood certain things about the area, and long before they had X-ray machines. And if you just went,
is this Joe Rogan?
He did a thing, I think, with Joe Rogan, but he also did that one not too long ago with I forget the name. It was a black streamer. I know Jay Bundy did a
Peterson
stream. I probably wouldn't know.
Jordan Lee Peterson.
No,
Jordan Lee Peterson is.
It was not. No. It was just a black streamer. Like, he wasn't like a fundy. It wasn't like any of that shit. It was.
He didn't say amazing.
He did not.
Okay.
Area, and long before they had X-ray machines, and if you just went by that in the whole world, you would start to understand like the true power of the Vatican and the.
So, if you're wondering where that came from, he's saying that the holy peoples never chose a place wrong, even though they didn't have X-ray machines to, like, look at to see if the dirt will grow crops, because you need X-ray machines for that, is my understanding. And then kind of trailed off a little bit, and then found a second wind. It's the Vatican.
I want to know why I need a clown suit. Sorry, I got distracted. I don't understand. Anyway, go on.
Wait, you can't. Okay, but real quick, I mean, we're not going to gloss over this. I mean, they are legit evil.
The Vatican?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, any power structure that's been around for 2,000 years is probably not great.
I mean, not great. I mean, God. I mean, like legit atrocities, though, right?
Yeah.
It's true, Tilton.
The fact that certain things are based on real shit.
Now, hold on, because what he's about to reveal barely scratches the surface, yet it'll start to make sense.
Why were there photo ops for the red carpet there? What did that have to do?
Because what he's about to reveal barely scratches the surface.
None of this makes any sense.
Is it supposed to?
No. Well, yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know. But, like, not if your brain is working properly. It shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it'll start to make sense.
It won't.
The Vatican, much like the pyramids, isn't just randomly placed. It's a breathtaking sight,
But it wasn't
rich
on the
with
goddamn grid.
What was that?
It wasn't on the goddamn grid.
It wasn't.
No.
I mean, the one that they supplied.
I also, like, this might be a correct pin drop, but I have no confidence in that. I have no confidence that if you look up where the Vatican is and scroll out, that this is what you will see.
Oh, I missed a super chat. So Left-Handed Jedi says, I believe this is ley lines or dragon lines. What are dragon lines?
Oh, God. I don't know. It sounds... I'm intrigued now. But go on. Let's
Yeah, if anybody knows what dragon lines are. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? Because I might have to rage out.
Not that I know of.
like the pyramids, isn't just randomly placed. It's a breathtaking sight, rich with symbolism and secrets hidden in plain sight, which many of you might already recognize. But did you know that what's visible to us is merely the tip of the iceberg?
Before we get into that, I do want to thank Peter Guns for being a member, being a cultist for 7 months. Oh my God. Thank you so much. We're so glad you're here.
So the question that was just asked by our, I would say esteemed, but I don't like lying to our chat. by the guy who's talking, he just asked, "Are you aware that all the stuff that you see at the Vatican, that has all the symbolism and whatnot, are you aware that that's just the tip of the iceberg?" And the answer is yes. I personally was aware of that.
Well,
maybe a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
The Vatican has an enormous number of artifacts and hot nonsense, like locked up in
manuscripts that we'll never get to read. I wonder why.
They have literally thousands of years worth of the crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that.
Aw, thanks, Jay. Super chat.
It says Nitty plus Katt Williams, take my money. Welcome, Shay. Thanks for the $5.
Is merely the tip of the iceberg. The specific location of the Vatican is no mere coincidence. Now, think. What other iconic place was deliberately situated and is even more famous than
even more famous than the Vatican? What other iconic place was
more
deliberately
famous than the Vatican?
I want people to think about this. I want people to think about the ideas that have been discussed in the last few minutes when he was talking about,
it's gotta be the
Vatican and
yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. It's got to be the pyramids
and all of that. Yeah. So
other than that, it's subjective.
Pyramids, something like that, something ancient, something that is charged with like religious, cultural significance. Why is my phone ringing?
It's your mom trying to grab you by the
ear. It's not my mom. It was my friend.
But now,
he takes it seriously.
So I want.
Well, wait. How are we measuring famous though? Is it famous
that's
because
what I'm saying.
People know about it, or famous because of like how long it was around and venerated? Like I don't.
I mean, because different things are going to fall in and out of fame depending on
right.
You know,
but
things.
It doesn't. The reason that I'm hyping this up is because we're about to be taken for a left turn so sharp that it gave me back problems.
All right.
What other iconic place was deliberately situated and is even more famous than the Vatican?
Do you think Beverly Hills was...
What?
No!
My God. If you
Beverly Hills!
A million guesses in a million years. Like, I don't know that would have been. Beverly Hills. Not Hollywood. Not Los Angeles. Not even California. Like,
to be fair.
Wow. New York City. Fuck. I mean, Mardi Gras got to be more famous than Beverly Hills. Goddamn fuck.
Let's live through that again.
Your coincidence. Now, think. What other iconic place was deliberately situated and is even more famous than the Vatican?
Do you think Beverly Hills was, I think this was an area they built on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Beverly... That's a perfect response. No. Just abject laughing. Holy shit.
Even Joe is like, what
the fuck
are you saying? Now, I will steel man as I want to do. This is a video that is edited of a bunch of Katt Williams statements that are probably not in order. Okay? And most of them, I believe, are from... Yeah,
cheap jab.
Shots fired.
All right.
Most of these probably
even if we're going to blaming video advice for this, like, this is like, that's how he leads into this quote.
Yeah. What place is more iconic, deliberately situated, which is such a vague, like, what does that mean?
I've been, following different conspiracy theories for at least 10 years now. And usually Beverly Hills is like the home of the Illuminati. It's not like, oh, they deliberately built this city here. for any.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how
Hollywood is usually the city that gets wrapped up into conspiracy theories.
well, but when anyone builds a site, pretty much anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
isn't there like a big assumption here that they'll know with dead certainty that this will become like some major cultish hub? It'll be this fantastical landmark for the ages, that it will be the forever meeting place of X, Y, or Z, group. No, they just pick a fucking spot because it has some kind of like pragmatic value or ease of access to something.
That's
And then
why
it-
most cities are nightmares to drive in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you ever been to Pittsburgh? You'll just want to crash into every fucking thing rather than driving on the, twisty twangy bridges. Like,
No, I haven't been to Pittsburgh. I don't hate myself. I'm sorry. Was that mean to Pittsburgh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was.
So he was the point the video is trying to make is the Hollywood point, not the Beverly Hills point. But like, dude, learn to edit.
more famous though.
I know.
According to
just,
what?
right.
Like, what? If you were in like
Hollywood
in
also a
Japan,
night in Beverly Hills.
if you were in Japan and just name something off, and like pyramids, maybe they know more famous places in China for all we know, like, or their own temples. And then like, where would Hollywood get on that list of people randomly surveyed? Probably not very high.
Yeah,
comparatively.
If I name like famous places, I'm not going to name Hollywood. If I name famous things, or like, Hollywood is a center of pop culture. That is, none of us are denying that, right? Like,
no. I mean, it's great, right? But like, I love all these. Like, I'm highlighting comments from the chat where it's just like all better answers than Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
Beverly fucking Hills, right? I mean, nobody's saying it's like not a thing or not even like it's not famous, but nobody fucking thinks about Beverly Hills.
But
I gotta put it S tier right now.
We arrived here. We arrived here through first. Katt was saying that none of the holy peoples ever chose a place wrong, presumably to like birth a civilization, and then elucidated, or he didn't elucidate, insinuated that the Vatican is another such a place, which it sort of is. Rome is kind of a big deal, and it was a big deal back then. That's the Vatican is in Rome because Rome was Rome. And
why
from there, we took a hard left turn to Beverly Hills and Hollywood.
Isn't Mecca like just as famous as Jerusalem now because of the number of adherents to Islam? Like,
look, none of those are as famous as Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
obviously.
Shit. All the holy people in the world. I mean,
he said it, so
it is an iconic sign, though. I mean,
which is.
Oh wait, I want to address Behe's last comment. I've been trying to ignore her up until this point.
Why? Yeah, it's usually what I do. Go ahead.
Why do I block Christians from my channel if I like talking to them?
It's actually not a thing you do, but
I actually do have like 3 people, just 3, banned because either they're spamming absolute conspiratorial madness. Sorry, Wesley. Or they don't know how to engage with people honestly, or they're like there to hurt people. And there are Christians who want to come to my channel and hurt people, and they get banned. There are Christians who don't want to engage honestly, and they get banned. And there are people who just are pure unintelligible, and make a large distraction for my chat, which you meet at least 2 of those criteria, which says something.
So the good doctor hates this, but Chad is asking for BBH to be timed out for 2 minutes.
Ding dong.
All right, and he hates this because he thinks it's setting a precedent that you guys think that you can just randomly ban each other for 2 minutes or any amount of time. And
look,
no,
Jim Bob's not banned on my channel.
He's not. I don't think he's banned here just because Tim Bob is.
I banned Tim Bob.
He did.
Hey, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but and I realize that I don't know. I don't want to make the stream about her.
He's working up to it though. Let's just.
But I do understand that she. I understand that people come to my stream because of the vibe in the stream and the vibe in the chat, and I understand that she breaks that, and it is frustrating for a lot of people who are just here to enjoy themselves. And I feel like she is being herself, and she just can't help herself. So I'm conflicted here. I do want her to come. I want her to learn anything at all. And they'd rather not be bothered with her. And I allow it. You guys are not allowed to throw money to ban other people, though. I don't care what your issue is with them outside of here. Everybody else here are normal human beings. And I think that when there are people that understand that they're just not allowed here and don't come by because we're an affirming community and there's just shit that we don't tolerate, right? And if they were to come here, they would be banned or blocked or timed out or disciplined in some way, shape, or form because we just don't play that shit. Not here with her. So
it has never happened. It has never happened that anybody has shown up in our chat and simply because of their username and who we all know or think them to be has immediately been banned. That has never happened. And
despite Tangela showing up in 2 different streams, it has never happened.
It was
honestly. I know you guys are watching conspiratorial content, and I just want you to know that you are intelligently designed.
Yeah. I may have made the mistake of saying Shroud of Turin, and he had
whoopsies.
I
don't say the name anymore.
I will totally admit it was all my fault, but he just had to go after that. I'm sorry.
You just did it again.
He's not here.
All right, we're only 2 minutes in. Let's just roll. Let's stop the trolls. Let's roll.
Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. That's great that happens.
But
if you think about it, Los Angeles is a curious name, translating to the angels in English, which already sets a mystical tone. Then there's Hollywood, a name that really makes you think when you break it down.
Does it? Does the name Hollywood really make you think when you break it down?
No. I actually never thought about it until I got all these conspiracy nuts trying to tell me that Hollywood means Holly is this and the wood, and I'm like, whoa.
So he's about to say some things which do have their basis in some facts that don't lead to any of these conclusions.
But the whole area have city names that are reflective of, I don't know, Catholics and conquistadors naming things. I mean, throw a dart at a Catholic name board, and you're like, "Whoa, the angels! Whoa, what if it was like Saint Farticus? Would it be significant then? Of course it is, because it's a saint." Go on.
No, I'm trying to do a Google search on how Hollywood got its name. And it said Hollywood, California got its name from Dia Wilcox, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, who was inspired by a name she overheard on a train and thought was perfect for her and her husband's new business venture. She just liked the name. A lady just liked the name, and she was in a position to be able to name the thing. And I was like, hey, this is a cool name. Let's name it this. And obviously, she was totally influenced by the Illuminati, who had nefarious ideations and were placing them in her head. That's not from the Google search. That's just, it is known.
Now Madonna's Hollywood is playing in my head.
Yay. I'm sorry,
Hollywood.
Did I cut someone off?
I don't think so.
Holly and Wood.
No.
Jordan Maxwell often discussed this, explaining that
Do you guys know that guy? I don't know this guy. Is this a name I should know?
I try not to comment on appearance, but that is literally a raisin with lips.
It's kind of Alfred Hitchcocky.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like
and glasses. Anyway, go on.
He's cited as a researcher, which is better than author, I feel like, but maybe not. Like author feels like you got a product out there. Researcher, you could just be doing like, literally whatever you want.
So I can look smarter.
You left your glasses.
This is only reason I wear them. Well, that
look
and
smarter.
all the other reasons that I wear.
Yeah, my eyes are so bad. My doctor
mine aren't.
refused to issue glasses, so I'm just winging it.
Wow, that seems like malpractice. You've got a lawsuit there.
This, explaining that the name derives from the Druids, who used a piece of wood from a holly tree to make their scepters. While I'm not saying it's outright magic, when you consider what Hollywood does, how it alters perceptions.
By the way, I love that they're using footage from the show Lucifer. Great show. This is a really great show. Lucifer.
Whoa. They're not giving us money. We'll just leave it at that.
But this is Apophenia, right? Where you have two things that you're making an association between that have no correlation, right? It God, I'm trying to think of one. Like just I don't know. I can't think of one offhand, but two words that sound similar that have completely different meanings, and you're like, but because of the origin of this one in a different language, it's totally related to this word over here. And when you put these things together, we have the magic.
Yeah.
Go on.
Like holographic and homeomorphic.
Oh. Changes beliefs and sets trends through our TVs and movies. It all starts to make a strange kind of sense.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's telling any crazy stories, my man. Not globally. Well, a lot of times it's
nobody's talking about crazy stories.
What does that mean?
Democrats control the weather. No one thinks that's crazy.
What?
Which, by the way, why aren't you voting for the people who control the fucking weather?
I mean, you would think, it's like, if you would just please stop, like, destroying my house, I will fucking vote for you. Holy shit.
Anyway. But no, like, I mean, or there's like that guy in Australia who is literally Jesus. All right. Like he has started his own complete Jesus cult, but there's no weird stories anywhere else in the world. I mean,
yeah.
Turns out that they were right that no, we couldn't have told people this because they would have went.
Hold on.
And this would have happened.
And movies. It all starts to make a strange kind of sense.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's telling any crazy stories, my man. Not globally. Yeah. A lot of times it turns out that they were right that no, we couldn't have told people this because.
What are you talking about? I rewound to find out what he was talking about.
Oh, no, you didn't think that was going to work, did you?
Well, I'm not a smart weasel, Maya.
And these stories propagate throughout the world. I mean, I know about that guy in Australia, and that's a crazy story that's being told now. Like, what? Jeez.
A lot of times it turns out that they were right that no, we couldn't have told people this because they would have went and this would have happened and that would have happened. And
he did not put Noah's Ark up there. No.
The Dendera lights. Hold on. Let's just go through I'm just going to turn the volume off and we're going to walk through this. Okay, so I don't know.
Magnesia, Turkey. Ooh.
That looks like a big ass stadium. That looks like a
All
place
right, all
that
right.
maybe could do that.
Let me see if I can. What would that be? Can we? Yeah, no, I have to know things now.
These are facts, right?
Reverse
Well,
image
you
search,
might have
go.
the best way to do it would probably be to like screen capture like this part of the screen and then do an image search for that.
Oh, okay. Magnesia on the Meander was an ancient Greek city in Ionia, considerable in size, at an important location commercially and strategically in the triangle of Priene, Ephesus, and Tralles. The city was named Magnesia after the Magnates from Thessaly who settled the area along with some Cretans. So I guess this was once a huge city in Turkey.
I mean, magnesium might be named after this. The chemical
Ruins of the
element.
city are located village of Tekin in the something district of the Aydin province, Turkey. I don't know. It's remnants of ancient city. All right. What else? What's up next? Oh wait. The Noah's Ark site.
Now
Love
those
that.
look like vaginas.
Oh, no. This is what I love ancient underground cities. I love researching ancient underground cities. There's a lot of them. And I don't know why this one is like so.
Do you know this one though? Because I don't know this. I've never heard of this.
No, DerinKuyu.
Derinkiu?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to go in more to see what
This is wild tonight.
Yeah. I have to go back to see like what people are saying about it, but yeah, I mean, I think most people are just fascinated. And actually, I'm going to keep this tab open because I'm going to do some YouTubing after this, and there's like people who are legit gone into like down here and like explored it. This is, I don't know. I think it's fucking fascinating.
Dude, the underground
but apparently
cities are cool.
There's the only reason he would be bringing this up. Oh, Titan is saying Hollywood got its name. It all started in Ireland.
Okay. But I was going to point out that like so in like Harry Potter, he has his wand, Harry's wand, is made out of holly. The association between like holly.
Yeah. I have heard that. Yeah, Hollywood. Like, yeah,
it's a thing. So I didn't like totally buy it that she just liked the name, but it works out in that way too. I think.
No, I'm saying if you do a simple Google search, that's where. I mean, I'm pretty sure she hadn't read the Harry Potter series.
Well, I would be highly confident about that too. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just guessing though.
I'm ostensibly a physicist. BBH says otherwise, but there's that. I'm pretty sure that's how time ordering works. Is that yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And since magic wands aren't actually a thing, I'm pretty sure Hollywood wasn't named after a magical scepter. But I'm just spitballing. I have not looked that up.
That's fair. But
so for $2, the Sinister Porpoise would like to know which ancient civilization discovered magnets.
The Greeks. Okay, see, I was able to get through that one quickly. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's true, but I'm saying it. That was all. This was edging, because up next here is, of course, the Ark.
Noah's Ark! Woo!
And
in your face, atheist. It's clearly right there.
I'm glad it made an Earth vagina.
On the right here, it looks more like a squid to me, honestly, with like
true,
antenna, right? Like this is
so these
are
the kind of things like claimed by Ron Wyatt to be evidence of Noah's Ark, which is a story that has a shit ton of problems in the first place. more than we have a time for now. But yeah, Dan McClellan has a great short video about why these sites are not Noah's Ark. In fact, like the final resting place of the Ark, I believe even with scripture is unknown. And it was made of like gopher wood, which like you would have to petrify, I would imagine, to preserve it well. To know that it's really wood. Like could it fossilize really? I don't.
Well, gopher wood is a thing that like we don't know what it means. It's a word that.
Oh well, yeah, it's made of some like, kind of wood that's like.
That's like the only time it's used, and it's like this random word that like we have no other reference point to like know what it refers to.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, so that's my understanding.
So yeah, if it was some kind of wood, right? Like, wouldn't it have to be preserved in a particular way?
Pretty sure it would have broken down by now, but
yeah. Like if you petrify it, it lasts a lot longer. It out.
Also, they really probably would have used the Ark for other stuff afterward. They've been like, yo, we need to like make stuff, and like we have this thing
that just killed everything, so we should probably use the boat for like, you know, shelter or something.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, like so they probably
like, what the hell
I don't think that it would still be around.
With anyway.
Yeah,
so he can get like toe up ass drunk. Like that's probably my favorite part of the story. Like everyone's genocided, and then Noah is like, he planted a vineyard somehow, and then like he his first like thing to do was to get ripped as fuck, pass out, maybe naked, and maybe get raped by one of his sons, and then curse a whole generation of them afterwards.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if that didn't happen, how the fuck would we get black people?
I'm sorry, Caden. Oh, Jesus.
I thought that was the curse of Cain.
No, it's the curse of Ham.
Oh,
everyone
well,
knows
see,
that.
You know, I'm not good at being a racist. Okay, it's a flaw that I don't think is a flaw. So you know.
All right, back at
that
it.
Would have happened, and you can.
The Dendera light. We don't have time. We're like 3 minutes in the video.
No, we have total time to explain how the Egyptians clearly knew all about electricity, and that was totally a light bulb and not a snake inside of a flower.
Lotus leaf.
Lotus flower. Thank you.
Yeah.
It couldn't possibly be that. It's totally a light bulb, and I don't know how it lights since like it's not connected to anything, but like that's what it did.
But it was connected to the giant power plant.
No, I'm talking about the filament inside of it. You know, that's totally not a snake.
Do you want me to steel man this, Maya?
Yeah.
Okay.
How does that happen?
So this snake has an outside edge.
Okay.
And another outside edge.
Oh, so
that's
we're
the
just
return
seeing
path.
it on that. Okay.
So
we're just seeing it like on the side or whatever.
Yeah. We're seeing it
you.
at sizes, and it comes back in here.
Ah.
And that's like, so people who look at this and are like, "There's only one terminal." I'm like, this whole thing is made out of a loop. Really? This isn't a light bulb, people. Okay, it's why? Because it's clearly a snake. Like, look at it. It's a snake.
No, you just told us it's clearly a light bulb. And
no, I explained how the thing that people call a contradiction isn't actually, because
you didn't say it was a contradiction. I just said they're fucking stupid.
No, you didn't. Other people say it's a contradiction because you need to like have a circuit. And my point is, I look at this and I do see a circuit because. Let me tell you.
See a circuit. Okay.
If the filament was actually that thick, it's not glowing anyway, unless you're pumping like an absurd amount of current.
But you see a circuit.
Maya,
I mean, right, like the mouth and eyes, which clearly all circuits have.
Maya, it's a Sunday evening, okay? I've done like approximately 3 kilograms of hard hallucinogenic drugs to get through this.
Bravo.
Right? So
I approve.
The things that I see are, thank you. Yeah, I live to serve. So, you know, I can get out there with what I see here.
Yeah,
I have no follow-up to that.
Start to see that.
If you listen closely to the podcast, you'll notice how reserved Katt
I did
Williams
not know
is.
this was a thing. But apparently Cain was
I
the brother
wouldn't call
that killed...
someone with these kinds of conspiratorial thoughts reserved. I'm just throwing that out there.
All right, if we ever get a merch store,
Right?
shit we should have in the shirts.
Yes. Oh man, what the
emojis alone would make for a great shirt.
All of the shirts are going to be magnet themed.
It should be one big magnet. It should be one big magnet pulling all, like the nitties and the vaginas and the weasel all up towards it.
I think I hate you, chat.
I think we have the best damn chat everywhere. Anyway,
okay,
yeah, and by the way,
if you listen,
is everybody fucking sub to Nitty? Like, holy shit, Nitty needs more subs.
I can unsub and then resub.
No, please don't do that, and not sock accounts. Don't do that again.
That was horrible.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I don't know who the asshole was that like took 12 socks and subbed to Nitty so that he could hit 100, but then they went down the next day and it was kind of embarrassing. So if you cannot do that,
don't do that to anybody.
Ever.
I am simply the head of a very complicated trench coat.
It's okay.
Don't you do that either.
Yes.
Like, I need everyone to find 30 friends and sub to me because this is starting to like fuck with my like,
I didn't know that was how YouTube
let's get
did
to 1K,
that. Because that's kind of weird.
Yeah, just like find 30 people, sub to Maya, sub to Nitty. And all will be right with the world.
Listen closely to the podcast. You'll notice how reserved Katt Williams is. He seems eager to share more, but chooses his words carefully, aware of the potential impact. But the part that follows is absolutely jaw-dropping. You sense he's telling the truth, yet you might still find yourself searching for explanations to make it all seem less extreme. But
searching for explanations or just like knowing facts? I mean,
what is he talking about?
He doesn't fucking know.
Look, if you listen to this kind of stuff and you're getting the sense that they're telling the truth, I don't think I could ever hire you to work with me or trust you around anyone in my family. I just
stay away from small children, large children.
Yep. Operate heavy adults. Machinery. Like, nope. Like, you just. What this is like saying like Kat Kerr and like the wild prophetesses and prophets like. Oh my God, I have the sense they're telling the truth, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh God, I've been looking for a good, Kat Kerr video. She's just, I don't know. One day.
What if it really is as wild as it sounds?
What is really as wild as it sounds? They're not talking about anything.
What? I mean, couldn't you just say the same thing of like Scientology? What if it really everything is as wild as it sounds? Like, oh no, I guess you should believe it. Terrible epistemology brought to you by Joe Rogan and advice videos.
Yeah, what if he's exactly right about what he's saying? Let's listen to Katt.
You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work? You can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like,
the ritual.
What rituals?
The one that happened on the Grammys when they went dark.
Yeah, but what's the ritual? Like, I don't.
The satanic ritual, clearly.
Watching it.
this is
listening to him. I don't.
So my mom has watched the show recently. I may have already said this, but
once or twice.
She was like, I can find it hard to follow sometimes. This is why, Mom. It's not our fault, I swear.
Yeah, no, they just, I mean, most of the show is just us trying to figure out what they're talking about.
It really is. Like, because we do not cover competent anything. Really.
Yeah, and telling your mom to watch a Roger stream, I'm not sure that's going to clear that up at all.
Well, see, yeah, but there's a lot of like inside jokes that I could explain to her. So it's
which would be easier, certainly. Yeah. We haven't done a Roger stream in a while.
All these guys are wearing dresses.
Oh no!
Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
Man, he's got like.
Wow. Like the blindness with which you have to say that while making this point, because he's talking about men wearing dresses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I really would hate to like explain like ancient Greek theater to him.
Yeah.
Or, English, like, you think men didn't wear dresses in Shakespearean plays? I mean, who played Juliet at first?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just started reading Romeo and Juliet again, and I don't know how the fuck nobody talks about this or notices that the beginning of the play, the nurse goes, "Juliet, you're like 14. Aren't you ready to get married yet?"
I didn't remember. Well, I haven't read it since I was 14. God.
Unless I completely burgled what I was reading. It was late, but I mean,
I feel like probably that happened.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, maybe like at 16, it would have made more sense. But like, 14 doesn't feel like.
Juliet Capulet is 13 years old in Romeo and Juliet's.
I really did think she was 14. Oh my God. Okay.
Because the dialogue is, "Aren't you just about like 14?
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, it was fine. So
Jillian's saying she was 12, but I don't know. I
whatever.
Don't know.
Close. Does it really matter?
Right.
Who's going to jail?
Usually, I think that as soon as they had their period, they were considered like of marrying age. Which was great. It was great times back then.
But anyway, back to the whole point about men in dresses is what the focus is here.
Yeah, which reminds me, I was watching a video on old Shakespearean things, and they were talking about I don't know. Apparently, there's like a thing with writers about I don't know. I think of blackface differently in Shakespearean times, but apparently Othello was black, and something surfaced recently showing the only drawn picture of Othello, but it would have come from Shakespeare's time, and they don't believe it was a black person. It would have been a white man in blackface, which, again, I'm going to say I don't have an issue with, because it wasn't totally different from American blackface. So I don't know what the issue with that, like why they're trying to make that an issue. I think they were just trying to be true to the play, but they did a lot of weird shit, because
they had to get the show must go on.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. Katt
also,
Williams, I mean, I know he's a comedian, but he's also an actor, and to say that, I don't know. I think he's letting his either homophobia, misogyny, or transphobia get in the way of just the history of theater. This has never not been a thing.
Moving on.
That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that.
For the record, earlier when we were really confused about what rituals are, the whole thing about guys in dresses in Hollywood, that explained what a ritual was.
Yeah, drag is ritual. Apparently.
Oh, not in the way he's. I hate this guy.
Was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I understood that the earliest I had seen that word was Baphomet, the gender.
So why?
So now we're conflating trans and drag. That's fun.
And all the eyes are removed from the pictures. Like, why exactly?
That's a good question.
I didn't understand that either. And then, like, there's, like, why is there, I know you can't see where I'm pointing, but, like, that under transgender, between trans and, like, it's, there's also something there. So I don't understand why that was what they were trying to block out, or why.
Maybe they're trying to, like, make a pro, like, small business approach and be like, Baphomet the traitor. Because, you know, if you delete all the letters, then it's traitor. But I don't think so. I feel like, you know, that was one of those things that I just pulled right out of my ass.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that when I watched it through the first time. I was like, was it traitor? It couldn't be traitor because, like, that's the actual word there. Like,
no, it's transgender.
Yeah.
Oh, transgender.
Right.
It has the
transgender.
The right,
okay, I got it.
Because
it's
there's 5 letters.
transspecial. Why is that not part of the evaluation here?
No, they're about to go on their transgender bit.
Oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, Lawrence of Milwaukee Atheist is saying, welcome. Thank you for $5 is saying. Now, I don't know how to pronounce any of this, but very grateful. Habercombs or Comes and Anthea were 16 and 14, and everyone was falling in love with them or trying to screw them. But by...
Oh, okay. Those are the names of the characters in Xenophon's work. Neat, Lawrence.
Okay, thanks. Hooks on phonics worked for me.
And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the gender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his.
You had to kiss his ass. I mean, Katt Williams can kiss my ass with this bullshit. Well, is that you can call it a ritual if you want to.
Some of, like, the Middle Age, I want to say, depictions of demons put faces both on the traditional human head and the genitalia area. So, I mean, that tracks with, like, the history of the imagery.
Yeah, I can't.
But also,
that had nothing to do with the gender.
Right.
And
this is talking about, like, a witch's ritual with the devil, and Baphomet is not the devil.
Right. So that's a issue.
I mean, is the ritual with, like, the wrong demon, like, does it still work? I don't know.
Well, in Christian theology, you know, everything that's not of God that is spiritual that you could worship is the devil by default. It's one of his demons or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really? And it said both of those things, so I knew that both of those things will become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over.
I mean, people aren't just calling people goats.
Greatest of all time?
Yeah.
That might be me.
That's literally what he's saying.
Yeah. That we just decided greatest of all time because the acronym translates into GOAT. You know.
That's that Apophenia again, though. Correlating two things that don't have any relevance
to do with
to
one
each
another.
other.
Yeah.
But
just because you are a homophobic asshole. Yeah.
Well, but you've correlated them through a trait that doesn't create an actual relationship between them. You're just
an asshole.
That yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. I have to criticize the very dark red highlighting. It's very hard to read. Like, what are you doing?
They are not an accessible video.
Are we?
Binary.
The sheep being always the most popular.
The sheep being the most popular? What?
I don't know where we're going with this. This part of the video, even like I lost the plot.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we want to?
Oh my goodness!
Do we want to skip to the Dave Chappelle? Oh, I guess it's right now, basically.
Well,
no.
Yeah.
Or do we want to skip the Dave Chappelle bit?
It does. Wait, no.
Oh my god!
What are you looking at, Maya?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Their reference.
I warned you this might get a bit wild, but think about it. You've seen it on TV all the time. Remember Dave Chappelle's incident with the dress? Here it is for those who aren't familiar.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they play every black man in movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them. Like, why all these brothers have their dress? This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin. Yeah. The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
And let's not forget about Kevin Hart.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for?
I definitely haven't ran into to put on a dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
There are more
So, I mean, Dave Chappelle, I'm sorry, Kevin Hart actually got into a bunch of bullshit for being homophobic.
I don't know what Kevin Hart got in trouble for.
He got banned from, I want to say, the Grammys because he had.
Did he slap somebody on stage?
No, you don't get canceled for that.
Dang it!
Apparently, no, it was something about it's definitely homophobic. Like, I don't want my son doing like things with I can't remember it, but like I don't want my son doing things with other kids. And I remember it from like it was like 20 years prior. And so a lot of people were like, we don't want this homophobe, like,
I did not know that. Yeah,
our this thing. And they were like, get out of here. And then, what do you call it? So
Gillian
yeah, the whole dress thing came afterwards, and I think he was trying to atone and get back in the good graces of the masses who, are largely loving of one another. And so then he kind of walked back like, oh, no, I'm an affirming human being. Watch me. I can, roll with the best of them. And then, what do you call it? Now Kevin Hart's got an issue with it. Kevin Hart kicked out of being.
Don't worry, I'll hang out with the gays.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, it wasn't the Grammys, it was the Oscars, and for being a raging homophobe. But yeah, he's
discussions like these. So there must be some truth there, right? Now, the part about the ritual and Baphomet really scares me. If there's any truth to this.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. He said he would rather have his kid play with dye than play with the dollhouse.
So fucked up. That's so fucked up.
My son plays with a dollhouse with my daughter. It's actually the cutest damn thing ever.
It is.
He's the best little brother, like, ever.
Big thanks.
Sorry.
I mean,
he lets his big sister watch Barbie with him.
If
he's
your kids are
the
healthy,
goat little boy.
I mean, if your kids are healthy and happy, let them be who they are. Like, I don't know.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying it's bad. He's just
I'm not saying it's bad either.
Oh.
I don't understand why you would have a problem with it. Like, your daughter is older. He more than likely looks up to her and wants to be involved in her life. Her interest is in dolls. I think that wanting to.
Well, he could just say like, "No, Mira, I want to watch Ninjago," and then just like fight her tooth and nail.
He could, but he's learning how to
cool dude.
Yeah, how to meet people where they're at, and that's going to
just
be.
her, though.
Learning that trait is good, and it'll be a useful tool that will hopefully follow him through life. Um, because part of being a success in life is learning how to meet people where they're at, play nice with others. I No man is an island, and you have these are just traits you have to learn to be successful in a society. I don't understand why. I mean, and we actually know the toxic masculinity is not good for society. What with all the men like crying because they don't know how else
the trope then of putting these men in dresses like a way to like humiliate them then? Like the reason that trope is there in the first place is that like it's implied that there's some humiliation that the man is in the dress, and that's why it's funny, right? And so it's a way of telling a particular narrative that humiliates the main character. It has nothing to do with being a ritual. It's just an archetype in a story that unfortunately, because of that, like made a fuck ton of money at the box office once, and then because a bunch of people are unoriginal idiots, they just kept copying that pattern.
And
like shitty superhero movies.
Yeah, and you'll notice in here how he's saying like it's like he's only showcasing black men, like, oh, it's a way to humiliate the black man and to keep him down. He's not talking about Tu Wong Fu, which also had not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
Mrs. Doubtfire too.
Well, yeah, there's getting it to her, but like it was John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze was To Wong Fu. Yeah, you have Mrs. Doubtfire. You have there were even God, I forget the name of it, but there was an old movie.
What Women Want with Mel Gibson. Was that one?
Oh wait, I don't know if
or could he just hear their thoughts?
Yeah, he could just hear their thoughts. No, there's a movie in the 50s with two guys that were
Some Like It Hot.
Yeah, thank you. It had Marilyn Monroe in it.
I love that movie.
And it was just two guys, and they were dressing up like a girl and trying to fit in with the women because of whatever the plot was. I haven't seen it in 20 years. But, I mean, it was just a funny movie. So he's not talking about any of these. Tootsie is a great one. I love Tootsie. He's not talking about any of the shit. No.
Right.
Men in dresses is only a thing that Hollywood does to black men to keep them in their place. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. It's just, you know what? All of these men, yeah, they were more successful because they could put their ego aside and commit to the bit. And for the enjoyment of the masses, nobody saw this as like men, lowering themselves to the point of a woman, except homophobes like you, sir. It's bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
But also, for $5, Sinister Porpoise says, how could the Egyptians create Dendera, electric light, when Anunnaki sky people deliberately gave us bad math? Great question. And shame on you, ma'am, for not throwing a magnet joke in there.
You know what? I feel unwelcome. I feel unwelcome, chat.
All right.
That's all I got.
To Katt Williams for daring to voice these truths. We're about to dive into the chopped noses part. But first, let's hear what Katt has to say to Joe about the Illuminati.
That's why I can speak with impunity about the Illuminati, because
I really don't...
About the Illuminati, really?
Yeah, but that's why, which is a sentence that starts off by referring to a part of the conversation that we don't have access to.
I mean, right. Yeah, because the way they're cutting it up, it makes it sound like I've never worn a dress. Therefore, I can speak with impunity about the Illuminati, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, number one. Right. Number two, I know your big
You bother me because you sound like an idiot.
That also felt like it was smuggling, and that felt like an anti-Semitic comment. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're talking about the Illuminati. We're smack dab in the middle of
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That you're not the Illuminati, I am. So you can't be illuminated. You're too dark. But the difficult.
What? You're too dark? What does that even mean? You can't be the Illuminati. Joe Rogan? Nitty?
Joe Rogan.
That? Any guesses? Idiot all.
No.
Joe Rogan can't be the Illuminati because he is too dark.
Know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati, I am. So you can't be illuminated. You're too dark. But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is.
Katt speaks in a way.
Okay, wait, hold on. There was actually something kind of there. Like, you can't get people to believe what they don't want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is true. And I like to say it as you can't make people believe what they're not convinced of. I think that's a better way to put that. Because if they are, like, no matter how ridiculous it may seem, if you're convinced of it, you believe it. Right?
I do think that the wording of "want to believe" says something distinct, though. It's about what you desire and what you would prefer, which is, as Ben Shapiro would always like to remind us, facts don't care about our feelings, apparently.
Facts don't care about feelings.
But, which, yeah. God, that guy.
Oh, what? No, that's not a thing. That's just something he told you to
That it's a real thing, Maya.
It's just the man putting you down, porpoise. Don't listen to him.
Maya.
Everyone should be everyone should be more like Jedi. Smell the magnetism. Taste the magnetism. More magnet jokes. Now.
You know what?
Sir. Oh, you're going to hit the play button? That's what it is, right?
I'm going to hit the play button.
Way that's both intelligent and cryptic, targeting those in the audience who have already gone down the rabbit hole and grasp the deeper meanings of his words. Tyrese Gibson even called Katt Williams a prophet.
Katt Williams. Jesus. Did a great thing. Oh, God. You know what his name is to me? His name is Prophet William. Prophet Katt Williams. We have gotten so used to the lie. The truth is uncomfortable. We live in a world right now where you fell in love with David Copperfield. You fell in love with the smoke. You fell in love with who people appear to be. They don't want you to see the truth. They don't want to expose what's actually being said, what's actually being done, what's actually going on.
Go back.
How far?
Where they're like, he's showing pictures of Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Smoke. You fell in love with who?
Let's just. I don't know exactly where that was.
Right.
Oh, was it right here?
Yeah. So, like, these are a bunch of celebrities with, like, hand signals. And so, like, there's the triangle signal here, and it's supposed to be of, like, the eye, the great all-seeing eye, which is also the Illuminati.
That's just Jackie Chan being adorable, though, right here.
Yeah, like, how do you know that that's the intent of every single
celebrity?
One of these?
Well, I'm pretty sure none of them are actual Illuminati, so I'm going to say none of them have that intent.
By the way, the pyramid thing on the dollar, if I'm remembering, I looked this up not too long ago. It's that the eye was like a symbol of vigilance and strength or something, and that's how it ended up on the dollar. Like, there was actually like a cultural association with like the imagery that had nothing to do with like some fucking conspiracy shit. So yeah. Or it could just be like God is watching over too. I don't know. Someone can fact check me. I don't give a shit. I'm okay with being wrong.
I've never been wrong.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Being said, what's actually being done, what's actually going on.
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I want to say a lot of those are just like sorority signs, like the Delta, They're just saying that they're deltas.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but that's what I don't know. That's what I was told. I am reasonably certain that it's not an Illuminati sign, though. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Beyonce and Jay-Z are in the Illuminati. They're on the rolls. I was looking at them earlier, but...
indicating that many support him, though they might be too fearful to speak out due to the potential
Mel
of losing
Gibson.
Yeah.
I mean, that tracks.
But
actually, oh my god.
But
yeah.
Jim Carrey? I love Jim Carrey. Is Jim Carrey a person that I'm still allowed to love? He hasn't been canceled, has he?
I mean, he was canceled before canceling was a thing, actually. He
Jim Carrey? Not Mel Gibson. Wait, really?
Oh, him too. But like both of them.
Damn it.
Really. I forget what Jim Carrey did. It was something crazy.
Carrey did.
I will find it. You can go on and I'll find it.
Okay.
Everything. Here comes the part where he explains why all the pharaoh statues have their noses chopped off.
Get on with it.
It makes you think.
You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people? If they... You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like. The liar knows what lie he told.
Maya, help us.
Oh,
what is happening right now?
White people, why are you here? Is it because I'm black people? Is that it? And you're like keeping an eye on me for the man? Nitty, come clean.
Uh-oh. Got me.
For $2, Dr. Ino says, no magnets here, but I got the Tism Fear Me tap.
I do.
You know,
all of you.
You want to know who's focusing a lot about people of color right now? A certain political candidate that believes that we are an occupied country. And I shit you not, this last fucking weekend, he said, they're coming to replace us. Do you know what the fuck that means? Sorry. I'm upset now.
Go.
This means that our hopeful fuck not future president believes in white replacement theory, which I don't know if anyone has any clue what that might sound like. Oh, right, Nazis, right? Mm-hmm. The generations prior didn't want that shit to happen here, sounds right? Like let's get afraid of the people browner than us coming into this country, taking all of our shit and, you know, ruining it or whatever, taking it for themselves, which is completely unfounded, incredibly racist, myopic, and stupid. Like, we are benefiting so much from working together and bringing people here that it's absurd to start using this language at all this close to electing someone to lead us. It's pathetic. So if you're a Trump supporter in here, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, and I'm not really even sure what he's getting at with this. I think everyone here understands and that why.
I was saying that to illustrate the point that that's why white people think about black people.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I know that they're saying that because I don't understand. And that's where I'm at with it, though. Like, everything you said, full stop. But, like, I'm trying to figure out what Katt Williams thinks is going on here. Why are white people so obsessed with us? Because they're fucking being lied to. I know he's not thinking that. I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. It's just this is some like ridiculous ass bullshit. I mean, unless I don't know. I see 1619 here, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
Let's see where he goes with it.
So he's talking about if you don't like something, why would you pay attention to it? Which is a remarkably dumb thing to say, by the way. When you're talking,
attention to it. I don't pay attention to things I don't like. The liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is...
Okay, so that was a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah! Very cryptic.
No, not cryptic nonsense. It was nothing because like, if they were talking about slavery, then where the hell are you getting this idea? That's literal white man burden, like, language, right? And I don't think that's where Katt Williams is clearly a very silly person, but I don't think that that's what he's trying to say.
I hope not.
Which is why I ended with a question mark.
Yeah.
No, this one's out of my depth. Because there's a lot of conspiracies in the Black community about what white people are supposedly doing, but
well, yeah,
I'm not sure what he's getting at with this.
If Black people don't like white people, why are they thinking about them too? Right? Why are Republicans thinking about Democrats if they hate them so much, right? Or trans people? Why are the Republicans so focused on trans people if they hate them so much? You focus on things that you perceive as threats, my dude. That's
it. My initial reaction earlier today when I first listened to this was, have you never been in pain? Pain isn't pleasant, but you don't just get to not think about it. Reality is in your face, my guy. Why are you like this? Why?
Is the right answer. Black people have lost it.
Real quick. For $2, Mark Agamotto says, the all-seeing eye is really Sauron.
Oh, we should have known. We should have known.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tolkien was writing...
way more sense than anything that's come out of Katt Williams' mouth tonight. But again, you did make a valid point. He's being his words are being cherry picked. Not well.
Yeah.
No, this is making the whole thing worse.
Yeah.
But they don't know that, so
Here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chop those noses off of.
Oh.
We're getting there, folks.
Oh, okay. This is some Black nationalist shit. But, the white man is afraid of the power of the Black man. So chop the notices off, you stripped us from our country because you don't want us to know who we really are. And it's these superhuman, we are the mother human, all the power is in our Black skin. And so you got to keep us stupid. You got to keep us down so that we don't understand who we truly are and we don't rise up and conquer you. I think this is what he's hitting at. Oh my God.
The Pharaoh and the Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped.
There are parts of that, by the way.
Fear. It's the white fear.
There are in terms of cultural violence that was done to when in the Atlantic slave trade. Some of that is a little bit true, but
No.
Okay.
No, none of
those noses.
none of what he's talking about. Like it's just
you're right. You're okay. Yeah,
it's like
you're right.
Candyman.
Off
It's
of
just
the-
like hood tales. Like none of what he's talking about is real.
Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nose, it can only be. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part?
I see. Even no matter what nose you put on this,
you're still telling us where it's from. Like, what's the point of that? Like, why would I chop off your nose and still say you're nitty? Like,
also,
like, no, it's not nitty. This is Tyrone. Like,
this doesn't look like a black person, generally speaking.
Well, when we're talking about Egyptian pharaohs, a lot of them were
inbred.
Yeah,
inbreeding.
Well, they were inbred, but like they also had like a like Greek and I'm trying to remember.
Right, they're Mesopotamian, not
Mesopotamian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily African. They didn't necessarily look like other Egyptians, even at the time.
That's fair.
Yeah, and the chat is rightly identified. Yeah, the nose is one of the things that's pretty easy to knock off.
It is.
Yeah. Oh,
it really is.
Less structural support, you know.
Also,
look at the front of the headdress too. There's
right
some breakage there too.
Right, with the snakes. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That's not important though.
I want to know how pointy are the titties on the statue? Have they gotten like rounded? Like,
what about the arm?
I don't know if anybody noticed, but Nitty likes titties.
How often do you still have ancient Greek statues with both arms, or either arm? They like
or any of the original color. Do you remember when white supremacists got pissed the fuck off when they tried to put color on Greek statues? Well, when they correctly identified that Greek statues used to be painted.
Yeah, I mean,
their fucking minds.
I do think that there is I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off.
You can't knock an eye off.
How?
That's not how eyes work. Okay, if you're going to remove somebody's eye, we have a term that is more often used than all the other terms, which is to poke somebody's eye out or to gouge it out. Okay? Because they're way up in here. It's a concave. That's not how protrusion or convex geometry works. Why are you like this?
Dude, you gotta Hulk smash the statue, right? You can't just you can't just do this half-assed and shit, cutting off the nose. You gotta say, Egypt smash!
How are you gonna knock an eye out?
That would just destroy the whole thing anyway.
Exactly. Unless it actually, if it actually is a separate eye that is, in there, one, that is some awesome, craftsmanship. Also, it would be, it'd
probably be a jewel, if anything.
Well, yeah. If
or
you
a rarer...
If you do it the really cool way, you carve it out of the thing that's already there, so it's bigger, and so it would have been impossible to put in. That's a really hardcore way of doing it, but yeah.
You mean take out?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just
no chins.
Over time, it's not abnormal for statues to lose fingers or their head, especially if the neck was originally created.
Look at the headdress there and the beard.
Yeah. No, but the
other things,
chin thing. Yeah. No, but we don't need to mention that because it's inconvenient.
Right.
Just the nose.
Selection bias.
It's missing. No, just the nose. Because it's a brand.
If you take a close look at the statue's faces, you can start to see the similarities Katt is talking about. Who knows? We live in an era where it's hard to know what to believe anymore.
Knows.
You got us, Nitty. You got us. BS. Right.
What's real and what isn't. We often just accept what...
For the record, like, there's a lot of this that is, like, kind of weathered away, but yeah, it's sad the nose is missing. That'd be pretty cool.
The so-called experts, like major historians or scientists, tell us without a second thought. But I think it's healthy to have your beliefs challenged sometimes. I really admire Katt for what he stands for. We definitely need...
Which is...
What does he stand for?
Black nationalism? Like, I'm trying to figure out what he's actually trying to say.
You know, and what I'm saying is the truth.
I would love to see, like, if Katt Williams had a YouTube channel, what he's actually saying as opposed to what they're cherry picking, so that they don't lose their white nationalist viewers.
Wait, do you think that their white nationalist viewers are going to be retained by a black nationalist content? That might make sense. I haven't thought about it.
What they're trying to do is promote whatever the fuck it is he's saying. So yeah,
but white nationalists and black nationalists are like diametrically opposed. Like their thought process and rationale and justification strategies might be similar, but their conclusions are kind of
they want each other out. They want all the same things, just for the other guy. You know, it's like I need you to go back to your country. It's, you know.
Well, yeah. You know what bothers me,
and
here,
I just want to real quick before you say anything, really want everybody to understand that Africa is not a country. I should probably say that in more streams. Because there are white nationalists who don't understand that. Not that any are in my stream.
The thing that was said there, the so-called scientists and the experts, and you're accepting things that they say and blah blah blah. It's carryover and a unfortunately growing trend of anti-intellectualism, where people actively want us to be dumber. Right. And they accuse, and it's so stupid because they accuse us for being uninformed when we're trusting certain experts and doing what we want to believe. Right. When we could just say that's what the fuck you were doing, and it's even worse because you can't substantiate or have a repeatable method or anything to make your story make sense, to give us any level of convincedness, reason to believe this thing. You're just all the fuck over the place, and you're gonna try and make us sound stupid. What? And by the way, it'll be characterized as like you're making an appeal to authority, which is not how that fallacy works in the first place.
Yeah.
And
citing the science is not an appeal to authority; it's an appeal to the facts. You can read it too.
Yep.
Hey, reparations! I like it.
Well, it's kind of like if your car breaks down, right, and you take it to one mechanic, and they're like, it's your ignition coils or whatever, and then you take it to another, you tow it there, and they go, well, it's your ignition coil, and you go, well, I mean, why should I listen to you experts anyway? Like, I think it's my fucking catalytic converter. Let me go work on that and this will be fine. Like, just because you don't feel like spending the money doesn't mean you should reject what they're saying. Like, it
Hey, feels over reels.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Dapper. God, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Okay. Blew my mind.
I'll take it.
Dr. Tapioca Weasel is paying reparations, gifted himself 5 more cult members. Those went to B.S. Lewis, KCA Randy, Samuel, Here I Am, Secular Rarity, Doorknob, no, not Doorknob Head. Who's the other one? Palacio. Welcome back to the fold. Oh, everybody. I believe these are all returning members. So please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and yes, your vaginas. All right, where were we?
Need more people like him. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Watch how Katt wraps things up on a positive note.
That's why angels and devils freak me out. Because no one wants...
The non-sequiturs. Like, let's watch how Katt ends it out. Cut to Joe Rogan talking about how
angels and demons. Because, you know,
yeah, man.
Why the fuck not?
It would
positive.
If the whole thing were slower paced, it might work. Like if you were saying like we're gonna like watch a thing, and he's gonna like articulate a thing. Are you just making groaning noises, Nitty?
Yes.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, Nitty is groaning. I would like to thank Mark Agamotto, back to the fold, cultist of 5 months. Thank you. We are so grateful.
Weasel cult. I forgot what I was saying. That's probably
What's
for the
Joe
best.
Rogan talking about? I need, more vodka.
wants to believe that there's a Satan. Me out. Because no one wants to believe that there's a Satan. That there's a devil.
You mean a bad and a good?
Yeah, not just a bad and a good, but an actual evil, malevolent force.
No, just start with bad
Okay,
and good.
yes, bad and
okay,
good.
so if we started bad and good, then we understand what must be at the extremes of that.
Right.
Nobody's telling a different story.
Joe Rogan was making such a better point, like a more coherent point. It was a word.
Right.
They're equally bad points, but one of them was coherent. So
That doesn't make sense. Point. Nobody wants to believe that there's a bad and a good. Like literally everybody believes that.
Yeah, but like at least it's a coherent idea.
What, bad and good or heaven and hell? Or is that what Joe Rogan was talking about? I forget.
All of those.
Yeah.
They're
Rogan was talking about heaven and hell, right?
You're talking about Satan.
Yeah. No one wants to believe there's
a malevolent force. It's very different than a good and a bad.
That's why angels and devils freak me out. Because no one wants to believe that there's a Satan. That there's a devil.
You mean a bad and a good?
Yeah, not just a bad and a good, but an actual evil, malevolent force.
No, just start with bad and good.
It's not what he said.
Exactly. No, it's not. He's totally he's completely taking over the conversation. Just like, no, we're not talking about what you wanted to talk about.
Not crazy enough for me. Let's ramp it up.
Exactly. And which is astonishing because you're on Joe Rogan, okay? Like Joe Rogan, say what you want. The guy is good at getting people to listen to his podcast. It's the biggest podcast on the planet, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. It's
Candace Owens is unfortunately really popular, so kill us all.
There's no way it's bigger than Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I don't think she's bigger than Rogan.
It's not, but
I mean,
it's sad and unfortunate.
It's not a flex that, you know.
Oh, yeah, but the thing about Joe Rogan is an idiot.
Indeed.
And because of that, I can't hate the guy, but I hate all the things.
Or an amazing grifter. But yeah, all the things he platforms. Yeah.
I know. He's just, no, I don't think so. Like, he's just.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a better idiot when he was at least open to, okay, here's Graham Hancock, here's Neil deGrasse Tyson, but like now he's not even trying to like.
Well, I think he still probably is. I just think that the people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, not like him because he'll totally still go on Joe Rogan, but other people, respectable people are less likely to go on Joe Rogan than they used to be. And I think that is more of a problem than it is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Because I think Joe Rogan reaches a lot of people and he does kind of let you say stuff and kind of nods enthusiastically along with it, which if you're saying the right things could be very good, but then, he might have a Nazi.
Can you explain that again? It's just, I can't impersonate Joe Rogan.
Well, yeah, no, the problem is like, and I get into arguments all the time with other people in our sphere where, is it like what do you call it? I know Leo, Mark, some other people go on, a debate platform. Shut up. We're not giving them, they don't deserve breath.
I did initials.
On this platform, right?
Initials.
They like to debate people on certain platforms. Not one in particular. There's a couple that are problematic, and people are saying, why are you going there like that? Da 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 da. And I'm like, well, you don't want to platform people on your platform, right?
Yeah.
You want to go to theirs where the idiots are, because that's the only way they're going to see you. When they're coming to you, they're recruit. Well, I mean, when you go to somebody else's platform, you're almost always recruiting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should be recruiting their people, not vice versa. They should be hearing the truth.
Or you could just be really bored, but
yeah,
but like, there's no reason, like, when we're talking about, certain creationists that are trying to be blacklisted, I'm like, you can only go so long before they start gaining a new batch of idiots that haven't heard the truth, and they need to. So, I mean, it's kind of like that, where it's just like you can't just blacklist Joe Rogan because he's always going to have the biggest batch of idiots. And we need people with actual facts to go onto the platform and to try to, like, just plant seeds to get them out. Because, goddamn.
Right.
Surrounded by idiots all the fucking time. It's not good for your mental health.
I think that Joe Rogan has, more than anybody in history, been able to establish himself with a huge chunk of people as the embodiment of, like, the average Joe.
Sure.
Yes, he's a famous dude with a podcast, but, like, even, like, he, in and of himself, he is not a pretentious person. I don't find him pretentious.
Okay.
I find him obnoxious, but also kind of, like, adorable sometimes, until I listen to fucking Graham Hancock on his show for the 18 goddamn billionth time, or any of the Weinstein.
We haven't done a Graham I was looking for a Graham Hancock video not too long ago. We should do that. Because
we should. Okay, do we want to finish this up?
Well, we're getting really close to 2.5 hours. Nitty, are you sure you're good?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, so if we started bad and good, then we understand what must be at the extremes of that.
No.
Right. Nobody's telling a different story. The fact that there is a God is the biggest conversation worldwide, but the truth of the matter is,
I feel like, what's the shit that I gotta do today is the biggest conversation
worldwide.
It's a good question, actually.
That is a good question. The fact...
No. I'm going to say no, because...
The fact that there is a God, like, I don't know that I would... that actual topic is... And now you can say that their religious topics are just in general, maybe the
yes,
topic being...
religion, and so that's exactly what I was going to say. If what you were trying to say is God is the most talked about thing in the world, yes.
Sure.
Is there a God?
I'm not sure that's true.
About? No. That's not, because atheists are definitely a minority. So
and I think the religious just take it for granted. Like, well, okay, obviously there is a God. How does one worship it? What is the correct? I think that's a way bigger topic going on.
Well, Vandy, I think what is key here is, like, you have to think about the billions of people who attend church or mosque
No, I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I think is the most talked about thing?
What?
Because for one thing, there is no global conversation in the sense that everybody like is actually participating in a common like global dialogue at like a high level that is a cohesive conversation. Obviously, that's absurd. I get that. I get that that's a silly thing. The thing that most people talk about most of the time are like the things that they got to get done that day.
Oh, I was gonna say sex, but okay.
Well, that's okay. You're right. They don't have to get sex done, but sometimes if they're trying for a family or something, and it's like, oh man, yeah, okay. But most of the time, people are talking about like, oh, what do I got to do? Like, I got to do this thing.
Food. Yeah.
We talk about the stuff that we're gonna do more than anything else, but that's such a obvious statement that it's almost not helpful. Maybe so.
Well, I think maybe the intent here this is the most profound question that's being discussed.
It's the most important meta or abstract
conversation. To be clear, Nitty and I both said we had no clue what the biggest
sure.
What was the thing being discussed the most.
Right.
I think what we did say was, how does one worship a god is a bigger conversation than whether or not there's a god. We agreed on that.
Oh,
and outside of that, we were just like,
No, No, I don't disagree with any of that. All
right. But for $10, Doorknob Head, who doesn't always speak up, and monetarily at least.
Yes,
we do appreciate that, Doorknob Head, and I hope you don't feel compelled to speak up with money, because we love you guys here, whether you're giving money or not. We just love the ones of you who give money more. That's a lie. That is a lie. I have 900 of my closest friends here, and trying to decide who is more important is just Sophie's choice. But you did pay $10 for me to say, how does one worship a goddess? Give money. And
I rank you monetarily, just saying. Oh, except for Blessed Be He. Blessed Be He is at the top, sorry.
But none of those Illuminati dollars.
Ew, the Illuminati dollars. It's a lot of dollars, though.
Yeah, it's like $1,700 a month.
Is that it for you?
Yeah.
You gotta step it up.
Well, I'm trying to start an OnlyFans, but Nitty
try to
wants
start
on my
the play
email.
button, the video by using the play button. That would be cool.
There is more reason for you to believe there is a God than there is for you to not. You have to understand that this thing serves no other purpose.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Total Nitty time. I think this is how we're going to have to end the stream.
Okay.
Nitty, all right.
Well, first I wanted to say that
you need haters. What the fuck is you complaining about? What the fuck do you think?
Oh God, that is not what I was trying to go for.
I was like,
that was actually really funny. Earlier, though, the idea that good and bad are equal in the cosmic scale from a biblical perspective, that the juxtaposition there was Satan and Jesus. And as a formerly self-identifying as convinced Christian, let me tell you that has no bearing and is not even close to the Christian worldview or whatever of those dynamics in the scriptures as we read them. Because while evil exists, that like duality diagram should actually look like this. Evil is in the middle, and God's power and sovereignty.
You need haters. What the fuck is you complaining about?
That.
What the fuck do you think a hater's job is? To fucking
I did not do
so
that.
let them motherfuckers do that.
No, I'm listening. I'm just trying to get him back on the big screen, but he's not.
What the fuck is you complaining
about?
What
fuck off.
do you think a hater's job is?
I'm not doing it.
So let them motherfuckers
No,
do
I'm trying to get him back on the big
job.
screen,
What the
but
fuck
it's
is you
being
complaining
weird.
about? Ladies, if you got
And I don't know why. All right, we'll fuck with it later.
So the picture should look like this. It should look like a donut where evil is in the middle, but God's power and sovereignty and ability to deal with evil is all encompassing. Like the Christian cannot believe at the same time that Satan has any kind of equality with God. Sure, there's a battle, there's a fight, but it has the idea that it even stands a toe next to Yahweh is ridiculous, right? And so, poof, the cosmic struggle of good and evil is always that good is totally way more powerful and important than Satan. So there you go. That's one thing I wanted to say. Now, for why did we kick Vandy? He had his hand raised. Did he need something?
I did not kick him.
Maybe he had to take a little weasel tinkle. Anyway,
it's totally possible.
So where was I going? Oh, right. So a fair amount of us here in Maya's chat and community are part of the atheosphere, as I like to call it, of YouTube. And we see things a bit differently than Katt here, okay? There may be a lot of things that you believe are good reasons to believe in God that convince you that God exists. But I think there are many things to consider that may convince you otherwise. And so if you're here and you believe in God, I'm going to do my anti-evangelist spiel. Please listen to us. Like, don't just write us off offhand that we're crazy, mad at God, people who want to just destroy you and your religion, There's a fair number of us who care about you, we want to be heard, and we want you to understand why we're not convinced. Okay? And it's not a bad thing. Like, most of us are trying to be as moral as we perceive moral to be, and that's generally going to be taking care of you, expecting you to take care of me, being, functional members of society. There you go. And I think that the more you hear out the people you disagree with, even when they're wackadoo Katt Williams, you're learning stuff about yourself, you're learning stuff about the world, and maybe you could be wrong and it's okay. There you go.
Oh, what did you do to yourself?
What?
You look like shit.
Maya, I've looked like this the whole time. I always look like shit. Oh, plus my nightlight is probably turning on. So I look more orange. Let me.
Okay.
All right. We almost made it.
Almost. But I don't know what's going on with the other screen. So, Nitty, let us know. Who are you? Where are you? What do you have coming
Can
up?
you big screen me this time?
Yeah, I like
maybe.
I like this. This is good.
Wow.
With a weasel on me.
So big.
That's not
so big, baby.
Wow. Can I move myself?
Okay. I'm Nitty. I have a channel. Yay. I am working on my channel, and at my channel, I make videos of real conversations that I have on Ohio State campus at a particular restaurant. And what I do is I take a whiteboard. It says, Vandy needs to go away. No, it says, it's best to be an atheist. Let's chat. It says, it's best to be an atheist. Let's chat. And I try to record the conversations of the Christians, non-believers, and other people who come talk to me about what they believe and why. You'll notice that in some of those conversations, I don't usually give a whole lot of pushback. It's more about having the dialogue than anything else. And, I try to explain why I'm not convinced about what they're saying and stuff like that. There's 6 episodes of that, I believe, on the channel. And there was another that's Believe in God, Let's Chat. And some people come up to me and we do that. I have another one that I'm working on. I just need to edit the 2 mics of audio, put them together. And hopefully that turns out nicely. And then I do live streams where I rag on Christians that sound like Katt Williams, or they get things horribly wrong, or they're just out in Christian space right? Where like listening to them from my former Christian self, I would just reject and think they're bonkers or not indwelt by the Holy Spirit. And that's like, I think, a voice that we don't use very much in the deconvert community, or at least that I've seen. Like, I usually hear things like, when I was a Christian, I had just the same amount of depression or anxiety or whatever. But, and there's less about, hey, I believed it in this way, and here's how I would talk about this kind of thing. Because there's a decent amount of people who come around who were never believers in the first place, or they didn't stick around to, like, as an adult, like, get into that headspace. And I kind of want to share like what that headspace is, right? Like, this is the doctrine. This is how I saw the world, right? Or how, here's another way to read the Bible that maybe you were completely like, I didn't know that was in there. So yeah. So in short, my channel is where I have conversations, and I don't edit them out of order like a Katt Williams video. I try and leave them in order. It's just a real conversation for you to listen to as like a podcast or whatever. And then I do live reviews of weird Christian content or stuff that gets me talking about what I used to believe. So yeah, there you go. That's what you can expect.
Is that wait? And so that's coming up this week, or like just
planned
for the rest of the year?
No. I'm hopefully I'll release my next podcasty conversation this week.
Oh, hey Tap, how do you get back in here? We're doing it before.
Oh, and I'll take user submissions for wacky videos. If you have a Christian or channel that you want me to cover or look at, send it to me on Discord or leave it in my comments on my channel. I'll see it.
All right. Hi, Dr. T.
Hello. Yeah. I think a thing went wrong in the back end here because the options of never mind. We'll talk about it.
It went wrong in the back end.
Why are you like this?
I actually say that a lot at work. In my line of work, we talk about our front ends and back ends a lot. No, I'm a web developer, and that's hardly.
That was great. All right, so tomorrow we'll be on Skeptic Haven with Dr. J. Bundy and some other people. Maybe might just be the two of us. I never know. It's always a surprise. And Professor Parks apparently does not like redirects. So we're going to read him anyway. Make sure that you like and subscribe. There is his link. And I told him to turn on raids. I don't think he knows how to do that. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Nitty, did you want to say anything before we get out of here, or Tap?
Oh, I just love you guys so much. Bad Science Sunday is, like many say, a highlight of the week. It helps, ground the rest of us as feeling more sane. I like that this puts us in touch with like a lot of different creators and a lot of different perspectives. I've really appreciated that you had, what's his name now? Peter, the Earth Creationist. He came on. Other agnostics and experts in physics and astronomy.
Professor Parks, who was on a few weeks ago, and he too is a Christian.
And so, Kip, you've had Kip on.
Kip on a lot.
We've got Rip Roaring Drunk while that was on. I mean, if you're new to this, where have you been all our lives? Like, where has this been in your life? It's always needed to be here. Okay. And I want to give a huge thank you for you guys having me on, because I went up 11 subscribers. And
no way. Look at you guys.
By tomorrow.
Showing out. I appreciate that, Nitty.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
And I really do appreciate you guys for doing that for Nitty, because Nitty had a lot of his subs were from Fuckface Doug. And
that is true. And the drama
need
there.
Them here. Yeah. So we need to show that, Nitty can be just successful without like overwhelming bigots in his life. So
well, it is amazing me that even though my sub count is what it is, that I almost have in I have at least a third to almost my sub count in views.
That's amazing, and congrats.
It's because there's so much love in this community. It's true though.
I mean, there is. I think there is. I don't know. I feel a lot of love.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody is feeling that love too. Unless you're BBH, who may be feeling the sting of a ban hammer, or at least of a timeout hammer. Stop fucking with the mods. That's just sound advice. Yep. All right. So, if what do you call it? Please, everybody, I would like to see you show Professor Park some love. Follow us over. Where are we at? 80%. The likes. Do I still have that? I'll do this just one more time. You guys all follow me over to Professor Parks. And remember to vote and bring a friend.
Yes.